Coming up, you're going to find out everything about basically Beethoven, which is Kathy Selby and friends. And the friends this time are violinist Dene Olding and cellist Julian Smiles. Good morning, Julian.
Good morning, Julie.
Hey, it's good to have you here.
Thank you.
And first question is, do you love Beethoven?
Well, you'd have to agree to this program, but I really do, especially through my work with the Golden String Quartet, having played all 17 Beethoven string quartets.
Have you done the cello Beethoven as well?
Yes, actually, interestingly, I set up a couple of concerts this year at the Conservatorium playing with Kathy, where I did all the 5 cello sonatas and the 3 sets of variations across 2 concerts, which was a bit of a marathon.
I was going to say that.
It was just, for our own enjoyment, really, and that was such a great journey to sort of watch the progress of his compositional style across those periods.
I think it's great that you say for our own enjoyment, that you will sit down and play Beethoven because you too, Kathy Selby and Julian Smiles, want to play. Now you're adding a third person into this group, which is Dene Olding. The three of you have been friends for a long time, haven't you?
Absolutely. I was just reflecting that Kathy was really influential in me embarking on my chamber music career because I was one of the first players in her Kathy Selby and Friends series, which started in 1989.
That was after the Macquarie Trio finished?
No, it was well before that. It was,
well before it?
Yeah. So 1989 was not long after Kathy came back from the States, and she was looking to set up this sort of chamber music series in Sydney, and she found me through Charmian Gadd, a great violin teacher who was in Canberra where I was studying. And Charmian said to Kathy, you should really try this young cellist I know from Canberra. So Kathy had me come up and play in a couple of her concerts, and through that I met people like Dene and the other people that are members of the Australia Ensemble. And the rest is history. So, yes, we've been playing together for many, many years.
Well, the big history there is that you're married to one of the members of the Australia Ensemble, aren't you?
That's right. Dimity Hall is my wife.
You have a professional and a personal relationship there.
Yes, they work very well together.
I'm really pleased.
One of my favourite expressions is the potential for disaster is enormous, but it's been really terrific.
So this Beethoven concert's coming up.
Yeah.
And you're playing the piano trio, the sonata for cello and piano, which you've done before, which it's really lovely you've brought that out again. Mm-hmm. The violin sonata, which is going to feature Dene Olding, and then the Ghost.
Yeah, the very famous Ghost piano trio.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Now, when I said, what music have you got with you? What have you brought with you that we're going to hear a bit of?
Well, the thing about the Ghost is everybody knows it and everybody loves it, and they'll instantly recognise it. But I've actually suggested we play a movement of the Opus 1 number 2, G major, which is actually one of the least performed works. And part of the reason is it's quite a long piece. When you consider it's Opus 1, so you would expect him to be cautiously treading the waters of composition, but
he threw himself
far from it. He threw himself in, and the whole work's about 35 minutes long. But this is the finale, the presto, very charming little movement, which goes like the clappers.
I love things that go like the clappers. I have with me Julian Smiles. He's in basically Beethoven with Selby and friends. I'll give you the dates right now, and we'll play a bit of the Beethoven that goes like the clappers. They're performing on Sunday the 18th of September at Tarramara Uniting Church. They're performing the next concert on the 22nd of September in City Recital Hall. And then they drive down to Bowral to St Jude's Church on the Saturday the 24th of September. And all the tickets are available by looking up selbyandfriends.com.au. And when we come back after hearing this little bit of Beethoven, and Julian Smiles will still be in the studio, I'll be giving away a couple of double passes to actually be in the audience to hear these three amazing people, Dene Olding violin, Julian Smiles cello and Kathryn Selby, put it all together with Beethoven. Julian Smiles is in the studio with me. He's performing on these dates with Dene Olding and Kathryn Selby, calling themselves, as usual, Selby and Friends, but it's an entirely Beethoven program. It's called Basically Beethoven, and so if you want to call us on 94394777, I'm giving away a double pass to Sunday the 18th of September at the Tarramara Uniting Church, And I'm also giving away, and you're not going to win both of them, okay? The second double pass will go for the 22nd of September in the City Recital Hall. Also on the program, I know it's all Beethoven. What else is on that program?
Well, as you mentioned before, I start the concert with the fourth cello sonata in C major, and then Dene, after interval, is playing sonata number 8 for violin and piano in G major.
So you get a break, but Kathy doesn't.
No, she works all the way through. Well, she's got her name on the program, so she has to
work all the way through.
And then we finish with the Ghost trio, so those 4 works.
Well, Julian, thank you very much for coming in to Fine Music 102.5 this morning, because it's great to find out that this Beethoven program is going up. If you'd like to try and win tickets, 9439 4777. That's for any listeners out there that would like to try and win for Turramurra Uniting on the 18th or City Recital Hall on the 22nd. If you're not lucky, go along to selbyandfriends.com.au and make your way to one of these concerts. If you miss out, you can always go down to St Jude's in Bowral, can't you, Julian?
That's right, on the following Saturday.
That's not a long drive either, really.
No. Hour and a half.
Yeah, lovely in the countryside on that Saturday, the 24th of September. Thanks very much for coming in.
Pleasure, thank you.
And have fun doing basically Beethoven.